Hello dear students, it's our 13th lecture of current electricity. In the previous class we have discussed some numericals based on Kirchhoff's law, and these were capacitor resistor circuits. Okay, now we come to one more application of the Kirchhoff's law. It may be used to find the equivalent capacitance or equivalent resistance of a circuit. Then how to get the equivalent resistance or capacitance, that we have to see. Okay, so we come to find equivalent resistance or capacitance using Kirchhoff's laws. Okay, so we have to use Kirchhoff's laws to find equivalent resistance or equivalent capacitance of the circuit. So suppose we have a circuit having number of resistors or number of capacitors. Suppose the circuit has two terminals. It is a circuit with suppose number of capacitors R1, R2 and so on up to Rn, and in place of R1, R2 we may have what? The capacitors C1, C2 and so on up to Cn, or C1, C2 and so on up to Cn. And now we have to get what? The equivalent resistance of the circuit between say A and B is what? Or you have to get equivalent capacitance between A and B. These results we have to get using this circuit. Okay, so what we have to do, we come to the first step. Okay, we connect this circuit with an external source of given potential. Now what we have to do, connect the circuit with an external source. You connect this circuit with an external source. Okay, like this one is the circuit having number of resistors or number of capacitors, and these are terminals. Now these terminals are connected with an external source of given potential. That given potential is suppose V. Okay, this potential is V we have. Okay, and suppose equivalent resistance of the circuit is R equivalent or C equivalent. So let R equivalent is the equivalent resistance, or similarly C equivalent is the equivalent if in place of resistor we have what? Capacitors. Okay, the equivalent resistance of this circuit is suppose R equivalent. Now see, if equivalent resistance of this circuit is R equivalent and the supply we have what? Supply we have V. Okay, this current flowing through the circuit is I. So what we have V is equal to I into R equivalent. It is equation 1. And in case of capacitor circuit, we will have V is equal to what? Q by C equivalent. V is equal to Q by C equivalent. It will be the result for the capacitor circuit. So this one is result 1 for resistor and that one is for capacitor. Now what we have to do, it is the first step. Now we come to the second step. Now we have to use Kirchhoff's laws to find the value of the supplied potential in terms of current and the number of resistors we have, R1, R2 and so on up to what? Rn. Similarly for capacitors. Okay. Now find V, supplied potential in terms of supplied current I and the number of resistors we have. Okay, number of resistors, these are suppose what? R1, R2 and so on up to what? Rn. It is the second step. We get what? V is equal to I into function of number of resistors we have, that is R1, R2 and so on up to what? Rn. And in case of capacitor circuit, it will be Q by the Q into the function of C1, C2 and so on up to what? Cn. Okay, this one is equation 2. Now from equation 1 and 2 we have IR equivalent is equal to I into function of the number of resistors we have. Okay, we get the result, the value of R equivalent is equal to function of the number of resistors. Okay, in this way we get the value of what? The equivalent resistance file for the capacitor circuit will have Q by C equivalent is equal to Q, supplied charge, into the number of capacitors, function of the number of capacitances. Okay, to get the result, 1 by C equivalent is equal to function of the number of capacitors and you will get the value of what? C equivalent. Okay, in this way we find the value of what? The equivalent resistance or equivalent capacitance using Kirchhoff's law. Now we come to 1 or 2 questions based on this topic. Okay. Now we come to a question. Find resistance equivalent between A and B of the given circuit. We have a given circuit and from the given circuit we have to find the value of what? The equivalent resistance here. this point is A and this point is B. We have given each arm of cube has a resistance. Each arm of the cube has resistance what R. We have to get the equivalent resistance between A and B. So we come to the first step. We connect this circuit with an external source, and this external source must be connected between these 2 points A and B. Okay, this one is an external source connected with the terminals points A and B. Okay, this one is positive end and this one is negative end. This supplied potential is suppose V. Okay, now see, these points are suppose this one is C, it is D, this point is suppose E, F, G, and this point is suppose H. We have considered these points. Now a current is coming into the circuit. This current is suppose I, and the current coming into the circuit will be exactly equal to what? The current going out of the circuit. Okay, so this one is the current coming into the circuit. Now these resistors are equal and this one is a junction point. That's why these arms are what? Connected in parallel, and also resistances are equal. That's why these are what? Equipotential. The equal amount of current will be flowing through these 3 resistors. This current is divided into 3 parts. Okay, since resistances are equal, that's why currents are also equal. So here current is I by 3, here current will be I by 3, and here also current flowing is I by 3. Now see, this I by 3 current is again equally divided into 2 resistors. This one is I by 6 and this current is also what? Similarly, this I by 3 is divided in 2 parts. One comes into this arm and the other comes into this arm. Here current is, and here also it is I by 6. Similarly, this I by 3 is divided in 2 parts, these 2 arms, and equal currents. These are I by 6 and again I by 6. Now we have left with 3 arms. Okay, now come to current in these arms. So using Kirchhoff's junction law here, at this point I by 6 plus I by 6, current coming to the junction is going out of the junction. It will be combined current, that is I by 3. Again here in this arm, I by 6 plus I by 6, it is again what? I by 3, and here also I by 6 plus I by 6, it is I by 3. So see, we have a single variable, that is what? Only I. Okay, now suppose equivalent resistance of this arrangement is R. So let R is the equivalent resistance of this circuit. Okay, then if R is the equivalent resistance and supply we have what? V. Current flowing is I. It implies that V is equal to what? I into R. It is equation 1. This one was the first step. Okay, now we come to, that is V into I are equivalent. Now we come to the second step. Second step पे हम आते हैं. We move to step 2. Okay, now we have to find the value of what? The supplied potential in terms of the supplied current and the number of resistors we have. So see, we have only one variable, that is what I. So only one equation is required, and in this equation the source potential must be there. Okay, so means anyhow we have to find the value of the supplied potential in terms of current and the number of resistors. So we may apply Kirchhoff's loop law over any of the loop. Over any of the loop you may apply the Kirchhoff's loop law. Okay, so you may consider the external loop, internal loop, or any loop you may consider. So we apply Kirchhoff's loop law over the loop. Say we consider this loop A, F, G. You may consider any loop, but source potential must be there. We consider this loop A, F, G. So it is A, F, G, B and source potential, and then again to what? A, F, G, B, and then again to what? A, like this. This loop is clockwise. Now let's start from A to F. See, current and loop are in the same direction, and the resistance of this arm is what? R. So that is according to the sign convention, it is minus IR by 3 if current and loop are in the same direction. Now F to G, A to F we have covered. F to G, current is I by 6, then minus IR by 6, current into resistance. Then G to B, it is again minus IR by 3. Then we come to negative to positive terminal of the cell, and the source potential we have what? V, and the total sum must be what? 0. Sigma E plus sigma V is equal to, we have 0. Okay, now we simplify it. We have IR is taken out, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. So what we get? Two plus 1 plus 2, that is 5 by R by, it is equation 2. Now using equation 1 and 2, we have what? IR is equal to, the result we get what? The equivalent resistance of this circuit is equal to 5R by 6. And if this one is the capacitor circuit, then equivalent resistance interchange the position of 5 and 6. numerator position यहाँ change हो जाएगा. That will be what? C equivalent is equal to 6C by 5. Okay, so that is the equivalent resistance of the circuit. Now we move to one more question based on this concept. Okay, now one more question we have to do. Here also we have to get equivalent resistance between A and B from the given circuit. This resistance is R. Okay, This resistance we have 3R. This resistance is supposed 2R. This resistance we have 3R. Okay, it is 3R. Here we have supply V, and an ammeter is connected with the circuit. What we have to get? The reading of ammeter we have to get. Okay, and the equivalent resistance also we have to get, means we have to get the value of what? Current flowing through the circuit, and the question may have find current in each arm of the given circuit. Okay, so now we consider some points here. Suppose this point is A, it is B, C, D, E, F, G and H we have. Okay, so what we have to do, say current I is flowing through the circuit. Out of current I, suppose I1 comes here, then the remaining current will be coming here. This current we have what? I minus I1. Okay, now suppose from I1, now see here resistance is R and here resistance is 3R, and current coming to the circuit is also equal to what? Current going out of the circuit. Here current coming out of the circuit will be again I. Now these resistors are equal here, that's why here current is I minus I1. Here also current is what? I minus I1. Okay, and here current is I1 across R, then here also current will be what? I1. Okay, then combining these current we get the result what? I again. And see, out of I1, one current is I minus I1 and the other current will be passing through what? This resistance 2R. So we get this current. Suppose this current is X. So using Kirchhoff's junction law at point B, I1 is equal to, suppose, X plus I minus I1. Solving, what you get? X is equal to 2I1 minus I. So here current flowing through this 2R resistance is what? 2I1 minus I. Okay, now we have all the currents in the circuit. Now we have total number of variables here. One is I and the other one is what? I1. Okay, now using Kirchhoff's loop law, we may get the value of what? The supplied potential in terms of the given currents. So suppose first step पे हम आते हैं. Let equivalent resistance is this value. R equivalent is equal to R. It is what? The equivalent resistance of the circuit. It is equation 1. Second step. Now we should use Kirchhoff's loop law. Now variables are two, one is I and the other one is I1. That's why number of equations must be 2. So we consider any one of these loops, either AB, DA or BC, DB, because equations are going to be same here. Okay, so we consider the loop AB, DA. So considering loop AB, DA. Okay, to start from A to B, we have current and loop are in the same direction. That implies that potential drop here is minus I1R. Now B to D, again current and loop are in the same direction, so minus 2I1 minus I into 2R. Now from D to A, current and loop are in the opposite direction, so plus I minus I1 into 3R, and this result must be what? 0. Okay, now we get an equation here, that is I1R minus 4 I1R and minus 3 I1R. So I1, 4, 5 and 7 minus 7 I1R. Sorry, 4, 3, 7 and 1, 8. It is 8. Sorry, it is 8. Okay, and plus I 2 IR, and here we have what, 3 IR, that is 5 IR. So plus 5 IR, that is equal to what, 0. So solving we get what, 5i is equal to 8 I1, or we get I1 is equal to 5 by 8 I. Okay, it is equation 2. Okay, I1R, 4 I1R, 5 I1R and 8 I1R. Okay, and it is 2 IR, 2 IR and plus 3 IR, that is okay. So we find the relation between I1 and I using this loop. Now we have to consider a loop with what, potential, because we have to find anyhow an equation in terms of what, the potential and the supplied current. So now we may take any one loop which is with what, the source potential. So you may consider any one loop with the source potential. So now we considering the loop loop. Suppose we take this loop, we may take this loop or this loop, you may take any loop. Okay, so we consider the loop ADC, and then EFG, H, and then again to what, A. Okay, this loop we have taken. So we start from A to D, we have current and loop in the same direction. That's why the minus I minus I1 into 3R. Okay, now A to D. Now we come to D to C, again current and loop in the same direction. So minus I1R, C to A we have nothing, E to F nothing, F to G we are coming from negative terminal of the cell to positive terminal of the cell. Increasing potential has always positive sign. So plus V, H to A, again we have nothing, and according to the loop law this result must be what, 0. So what we get, we have V is equal to, it is 3 I1R and it is I1R, that is 4 I1R. So V is equal to 4 I1R, taken right side. Okay, and the other result we have, it is 3 I1R positive and minus I1R, that is 2 I1R. Okay, and positive 3 with negative sign. Okay, it is negative, and it is we have minus 3 IR. So plus 3 IR we have. So what we get, V is equal to, R is taken out, it is 3I minus 2I1, it is suppose equation 3. Now from equation 2 and 3, what we get, V is equal to R, 3I minus 2, and in place of I1 we have to take what, 5 by 8 I. Okay, this result we have. Simplify it, what we get, that is IR is taken out, and it is 24, and 24 minus 10 divided by what, 8, and that is 14 by 8. IR by 8, that is 7 IR by 4. Okay, this one is equation, suppose 4. And now from equation 1 and 4, we have V is equal to what? IR, equivalent IR, that is equal to what? 7 IR by 4. So you get the result, R is equal to, that is the equivalent resistance between A and B. If you get the equivalent resistance, then you may get the value of what? Current supplied to the circuit. So it implies that current supplied to the circuit is equal to, supplied potential is V and divided by 7R by 4. You get the result what? I is equal to 4V by 7R. That is the value of what? The supplied current we have. And in this way we may find the value of what? The current in ohms, I1 is what? 5/8 by I. Put the value I minus I1. In any ohm we may get the value of current after getting these results. Okay, and the similar question we may from the capacitor. So in place of resistor we may have taken what? The capacitor of the equal values, suppose it is C, 3C, 3cc and 2C. Then we have to find the value of what? Equivalent capacitance. In that case we'll have to find the value of what? The charge supplied to the circuit. Okay, so this one is one application of Kirchhoff's law. More question we will doing in the next class, but one important point I have to discuss today, that is source transformation method. How to convert a voltage source into the current source or current source into the voltage source. Okay, now we come to the source transformation technique. Source transformation method. Suppose we have a voltage source and we have to convert this voltage source into what? A current source. Okay, suppose this one is a voltage source V and internal resistance of this source is what? R. Then what is the current flowing through this arm? This current is I, and V this time is equal to what? IR. Okay, now we convert this voltage source into the current source. Current is flowing in the upward direction. That is the sign for current source. Current is in the upward direction. Okay, and the value of current here is I, and this current will be equal to now what we have to take, these are terminals, these terminals, you connect a resistance in parallel with this current source. This resistance is now here. Okay, So now current is I and resistance is what? R. What is the value of current here? That is V by R. Okay. Now suppose we have a question here. It is a voltage source of 10 volt and internal resistance 2 ohm. Okay. Resistance we have 2 ohm. So what is the current flowing through this circuit? That is 10 by 2, that is equal to 5 ampere. Now we have to convert this voltage source into what? A current source. So we take a current source with what amount of current here? It is 5 ampere. Okay. And resistance we will have to take in parallel of what value? That is of 2 ohm. Okay. So now it has been converted into what? The current source. Similarly, now we have a current source. Current flowing through this arm is 7 ampere and resistance in parallel we have 3 ohm. Now we have to convert this current source into the voltage source. So how may we convert this? To say it is a voltage source of internal resistance what? 3 ohm. Take it 3 ohm here. Now multiply current into resistance 7 into 3, that will be what? 21. So here potential value will be what? 21 volt. So now we have converted this current source into what? The voltage source. In this way we can convert a voltage source into the current source or current source into the voltage source. Okay. So this technique is called source transformation technique or source transformation method. Okay. Now I give you a question for homework. It is 5 ohm, 2 ohm. It is 2 ohm. It is 2 ohm. Okay. 10 volt. Now see, these resistors we have given and we have taken number of sources. Now here we have a current source of 5 ampere. Okay. Now you have to find current in each arm of the given circuit, and here current we have given, that is 5 ohm. In the other arms we have to get the values of currents. Okay. Now we come to a topic, balanced Wheatstone bridge. balanced Wheatstone bridge. We have a galvanometer here. It is a device used to detect the value of what? Current. This one is a source of given potential. This one is the key. Here resistance we have R1. Here resistance is R2. Here resistance is R3 and here resistance is R4. Okay. Current supplied to this circuit is I. This current is I. Okay. That will be going out of the circuit. One current comes here, that is suppose I1. The remaining current according to junction law will transfer through R2. That will be what? I minus I1. Now out of I1, suppose this resistance we have Rg, that is the internal resistance of the galvanometer. Suppose across galvanometer current is Ig, current across the galvanometer. So out of I1, Ig comes here, the remaining current will transfer through R3. This current now is according to the junction law, remaining current I1 minus Ig. Okay. Now again using Kirchhoff's junction law here, so one current is Ig and the other current is what? I minus I1. So here combined current will flow, that is value I minus I1 and plus this current, it is what? Ig. This circuit is called balanced Wheatstone bridge only if the resistances ratio R1 by R2 is equal to what? R3 by R4. Left side resistance ratio is equal to what? The right side resistance ratio. In that case, no current flows toward the galvanometer. Okay. So in case of balanced bridge, no current flows through the galvanometer, that is Ig is equal to, we have what? 0. galvanometer के क्रॉस हमारे पास क्या होगा करेंट? It will be 0. Okay. Now this point is suppose A, B, C and this one is what? D. So now using Kirchhoff's and if Ig is equal to 0, if Ig is equal to 0, it implies that R1 by R2 will be equal to what? R3 by R4. This result will be satisfied. Okay. Now we use Kirchhoff's loop law over the loop AB DA. Okay. To see, using Kirchhoff's loop law over A, B, D and A. Okay, to start from A, current and loop are in the same direction, that's why potential drop is negative, that is minus I1 R1. Okay, now B to D, again current and loop are in the same direction, so minus Ig Rg. Now D to A, current is coming from A to D, while we are coming from D to A, current and loop are in the opposite direction, that's why potential drop is positive, that is I minus I1 into R2 and that result is what? 0. So we have I1 R1 plus Ig Rg is equal to I minus I1 into R2. While in case of balanced Wheatstone bridge, there is no current through what? The galvanometer. That means Ig is 0. So if Ig is 0, it implies that I1 R1 is equal to I minus I1 into R2. This one is equation 1. Now similarly we use Kirchhoff's loop law over the second loop, that is BCD. Okay. Now using Kirchhoff's loop law over BC dB. To start from B to C, we have current at loop in the same direction. So we have what? Minus I1 minus Ig into R3. Then C to D, current and loop are in the opposite direction. So plus I minus I1 and plus Ig into R4. Plus Ig into R4. And then D to A, current and loop are in the opposite direction. So plus Ig Rg, that is equal to 0. Again we have to take what? Ig is equal to 0. So since we have Ig is equal to 0, it implies that minus I1 R3 plus I minus I1 into R4, and that result is 0. It implies that I1 R3 we have what? I minus I1 into R4, that is equation 2. Now dividing 1 and 2, dividing 1 by 2. So dividing 1 by 2, so we get the result what? I1 R1 by I1 R3 is equal to I minus I1 into R2 divided by I minus R4. Okay, you simplify it, you will get this result. R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. That's why if resistance ratios are equal, R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4, so no current flows through this galvanometer arm, because the potential drop across B and D this time is what? 0. Potential difference between B and D is 0. That means potential of B is equal to what? Potential of D. These become equipotential and no current flows. So that's why we neglect this arm in solving the electrical circuit. Okay. In the next class, we will come to one application of the balanced Wheatstone bridge, and that is what? Meter bridge. Okay. Thank you.